So today I have got a really good guy. His name is Mike Carmody. He has got a YouTube channel that really kind of dives deep into, efficiency, processes, equipment, and he has done a great job. He just in building the channel and really providing value to our community, to our industry. Welcome to the channel.
Absolutely, my brother. Thank you so much for the invite. I'm humbled and grateful. Thank you.
Oh man, well, thank you. So I guess we'll just start off with tell us how long you have been in business, kind of how you got into the business.
Yeah, so I'm somewhat of an anomaly. You probably didn't know this, but I actually invented the pressure washing industry. And while that's not true, if you had known me 10 years ago, I would have told you that because I really thought that I did. Actually, 25 years ago, I began purchasing rental properties, real estate investment. That was going to be my thing along with ministry. I always wash the houses when I buy them and possibly sell them. And about 15 years ago, I was washing one of my rental houses with a small 2.6, 2.7 GPM machine. And a neighbor came over and said, "Hey, how much would you charge me to wash my house?" I had never heard of such a thing. I thought, wow, people actually get paid to wash houses. So I went home. I told my wife, probably just in jest and somewhat in passing, that, someday if I'm in need of gainful employment, that perhaps I would start a pressure washing business. Neither one of us had ever heard such a thing. And about 10 years ago, that day came. I borrowed that same pressure washer that I had been using to wash my rental properties from a friend of mine. He worked for the local cable company. The local cable company loaned me a ladder. They didn't know it, but they did. I threw that in the back of my wife's SUV and off I went. I put some ads out on Craigslist of all places and got a bunch of houses and began washing. Had no idea that it was an actual industry. I went probably a year, literally a year, thinking that I was the only person out there washing houses. Of course, 10 years ago, that may have been the case or close to it. That's not the case so much anymore here in Cincinnati. But yeah, I started washing houses probably a year or more into washing houses. I stumbled upon some YouTube content. Back in the day, there wasn't a lot of that. Came across a few online forums and, of course, Facebook groups. I was the guy asking all the stupid questions, still do from time to time, and got coached along the way. And it's an evolution. One thing leads to another, and here we are 10 years later.
Man, I love that. And it's funny because I had the same start to my business. I bought an existing business. It was a relatively small business. The guy was washing sidewalks and dumpster pads. He was moving, and on a whim, I said, "Hey, what are you doing with the business?" And he said, "I'm probably just going to sell off the equipment." Another friend said, "Mike, you should buy it. It's a great fit for you." I went home to my wife and said, "Hey, I'm going to buy a pressure washing business." And she said, "What do you know about pressure washing?
Right.
What do you know about running your own business?" And I was like, "I don't know anything about it, but I think I'm good enough at sales. I'm good enough at marketing that we can make this thing go." And that was 23 years ago, and we have, we've had our high points, we've had our low points over the years. It's a strong business, and it's something that, if you dedicate yourself to it, you educate yourself, then you have the ability to take it as far as you want. And educating yourself is something that really will separate you from everybody else. It'll get you ahead in the game. It will cut your learning curve. And if you want to start your own pressure washing business, check out How to Wash. There is a link in the comment section down below. You can get it for a very special price. Use promo code SPRING at checkout. And also, if you're looking for something to help run your business a lot smoother, a lot more profitably, a lot more efficiently, check out Quote IQ. We're giving you guys the opportunity to get any tier, even the ultimate tier with InstaQuote, with self-schedule and everything else. First month for $1. Check it out, myquoteiq.com. Link in the description down below. I see your videos and I know that, like I mentioned earlier, efficiency is one of your big things. What is it that makes you so efficient? Is it the processes? Is it the systems? Is it the equipment? I can see right behind you, you're sitting in front of that beautiful, that's an Isuzu MPR, right?
It's the Chevy
Okay.
LCF, but it's the identical truck. Yeah.
Right. Absolutely envious of that thing. You've done a phenomenal job. I watched the build. It was fun to see that thing, come to life. It's really been inspirational, I'm sure, to a lot of other people too. But talk to me about efficiency
Yeah.
processes and the systems that have allowed you to progress to the point you are and be able to invest in your business like you have with the truck behind you.
Yeah, no doubt. There's a lot of tools in the tool pouch. And if you go on my channel, the Fresh Rinse channel, then that's basically what I dedicate my channel to, is just operating in an efficient manner. Of course, the truck helps, but that's more in the lines of traffic and pulling up in front of someone's house in a cul-de-sac. You can do it in your pickup truck, a van, your pull behind trailer, which I did for many, many years. But it seems to me that the key to efficiency is systems, being very systematic in my thinking. I think about today's Tuesday. I began thinking about that last night. I began mapping it out, whether it be the order of my washes. I usually wash 4 to 6 a day. So we'll just say 5 a day, homes, whether it be concrete roofs, what have you. And it really is, it boils down to systems. So literally knowing what the day is going to look like and congesting everything as close together within proximity, and knowing how to wash. The fact of the matter is, Mike, anybody can wash, and it can take 4 and 5 hours for a guy to wash a house. I know when I first began, it certainly took 4 and 5 hours to wash a house. The equipment has a lot to do with it. Not planning to talk to customers all day long, but planning to get in and out and routing. I begin my day at 8 o'clock in the morning at the first opportunity, as I call them. And I'm usually home between 3:30 and 4:30, as I was today.
In every aspect of the business, from the actual, the work being done in the field, right? That's critical. But then the systems in place to automate and to keep our businesses running smoothly. Obviously, that's one of my big areas where I kind of focus and spend a lot of my time on my channel talking about the systems, the automations, the things that the little things that you can kind of automate out of the business, because we wear a lot of hats as small business owners. And when we're wearing all those hats, things can get forgotten, things can get left behind, the follow-ups, the emails, the things that we need to do in order to progress and continue on and be successful. The processes and the systems are absolutely critical. I really think that the equipment is something that is important. What would you say is the one critical piece or multiple pieces of equipment that allow you to be more efficient today than you were when you first started?
I would say having an 8 GPM machine is crucial to any business. I did some numbers just the other day, and on the 8 GPM machine right behind me, I have 2,300 hours. I think I paid $3,700 for that 4 or 5 years ago. So if an average wash takes me around an hour, that means I have 2,300 hours. If I only charged $500 as my average ticket, then I'm at $1.5 million with just that one machine. It absolutely is built efficiency within the systems that I was speaking of. So for the new guy or gal out there who's starting out, and they're really on the cusp, should I upgrade? Should I go beyond this 4 or this 5.5 to this 8? I would say if you're just talking about sheer numbers, then what's the difference, the price of a machine from maybe $1,000, when in the end, it's going to make you literally millions of dollars in revenue. And that's just one machine. But redundancy is the key, and having the proper equipment builds redundancy.
When you really do break down the numbers and look at the possibilities of, income generation for what we do, it really is an amazing thing to look at. I know that we've got these channels and we get questions all the time, almost bombarded with comments and questions, emails. Should I start with a 2.5 or 2.9? Is this?
Right.
And I tell people, just like you did, if you look at it from the perspective of, it's just like one job, right? One job, say it's $500. You do a few jobs, that machine is paid for. And it's the same with O-rings, having an extra couple O-rings, having a chemical injector, all of these little things that are minuscule in price in the grand scope of things. They make you so much money.
Absolutely.
It pains me when people are like, hey, I'm down because I don't have a chemical injector. I'm like, it's $25, right? Like,
it's $20.
My hose broke. What am I going to do? Well, get the extra, because you got to have extras, the redundancies, the backups.
Absolutely.
These are the things that basically set us apart from, and I hate to use the word chuck in a truck, but the chuck in the truck that is, essentially out there doing it for beer money and driving down, the market for a lot of us. But if
Sure.
we're calling on the right customers, they're not interested in those guys anyway. But yeah, great point. And I really do like that perspective on the dollars you put in and the dollars that you're able to get out, because that is strong.
Yeah, and
Um,
if I could elaborate on that just a little bit, that the fact of the matter is, Mike, we don't pay for our equipment. None of us should pay for our equipment. Our customers pay for our equipment. And here's a case in point. I remember a few years back, I was wanting to purchase a mini Mondo, and it was about $1,800. I have the money in the account, but I wanted to play with this a little bit. So I waited for a dealership, a car dealership called up and said, "We want you to wash all of our concrete." So I gave them a price of like $2,500, I think it was. So I bought the mini Mondo, and they paid me $700 to walk around their parking lot looking really cool all day long. So they pay for it. The customer pays for your equipment. So whether it's your signs, your advertisement, how much does a yard sign cost? $5, maybe something of that nature in 2024. Well, add $5 to one of your tickets, and you're going to get that yard sign paid for. And if that one sign gets you one job, it's going to pay for all of your yard signs. So we have a tendency to think that we're paying for these things. But the fact of the matter is, Mike, Walmart doesn't pay for any of their product. We pay for their product.
right.
McDonald's does not pay for their product. We pay for their product.
Yeah, I love that perspective. And that is so true. And it's interesting though, because it really is, it's a mindset flip that you
Absolutely.
kind of have to go through. And it's very difficult. When I first started out, an $1,800 mini Mondo, that was out of the realm of
Oh,
capability.
sure. Yeah.
I remember, and I'd mentioned it to Joe Deary the other day, Siamesing, 2 4-gallon per minute machines so I could get an 8-gallon per minute. I mean, I remember being on the internet forums trying to figure out what parts I needed and asking
Right.
stupid questions, because I was that guy too. But that's how you learn. But yeah, it's interesting, and it's fun to look back and then have the perspective that we do now. Because if I had the mindset I had now, then things would be tremendously different than they are now.
Yeah.
Um,
Got it.
so you mentioned yard signs. What are some of your main marketing tactics, strategies that you employ to generate the lead flow that keeps you as busy as you are?
Yeah, and in all fairness, Mike, your viewers need to hear this, and this is not bragging by any means. In fact, it should be viewed as being the opposite of whatever bragging is. Maybe there's some shame to it, but I've never actually paid for advertising. But keep in mind that when I started 10 years ago, Craigslist was an actual thing, and there was like a free forum where you could just go in there and market your services, and that's how I picked up business. A great a great deal of my business is word of mouth or referrals. But if you just want to talk about marketing, I would say my greatest marketing platform would be the local Facebook community sites, yard sale community sites, the neighborhood sites. Those are free. And back in the day, I would post nightly. I still get calls from ads that I posted a year ago or more. And that I still pick up a lot of work from that. Of course, Google, while I don't have a website and have never had a website, I still, again, I should say this, my closing rate is about 60 to 65%. And for me, that's a nice little sweet spot. So if I'm washing 5 a day and I'm only closing 60 to 65%, that means I'm getting a lot of leads every single day, somehow, some way. And they come in a multitude of ways. Again, word of mouth, Facebook, Google, and that's just Google My Business. Again, I don't have a website. But Jazzy behind me, I named the truck Jazzy. Jazzy gets me a lot of jobs. That's a $3,000 truck wrap that has paid for itself time and time again, and I've only had it a year, or less than a year, about half a year. So it's a rolling billboard, and I'm known in the area as being the guy to call if you want your house washed or your business washed, and it comes with 10 years. So I want to encourage your listeners out there, don't give up. It comes with time. And I would say Facebook is probably my biggest lead generator.
Gotcha. That is interesting. And the fact that you don't have a website and are able to do, 4, 5, 6 jobs a day is absolutely insane. Our biggest one is Google, right? So there's
Sure.
no ad spend. But like yourself, I mean, I've got you by about a decade as far as how long we've been in business. So, my Google page ranks high. Our website, it's not a fancy website. I built it myself, and it ranks unbelievably high because of age.
Sure.
And I still put in the work on it, but Google is our leader, and then right behind that by just a few percent is current customers, repeat business, right?
Absolutely.
And I'm sure with you, it's exactly the same way. And of course, the word of mouth and the referrals from all of those people, it's so valuable to us. Okay, so we talked about the strategies that you employ, the equipment that you have. With as busy as you are, how are you going about doing your quoting? Are you doing in-person quoting? Are you doing remote quoting? Like we talked about Joe Deary the other day, he says he doesn't do hardly any in-person quoting anymore. Right. Everything is remote. It's text messages, it's pictures, utilizing, different resources. How are you doing it?
Yeah. And I should preface this answer by saying a lot of what I do is not what I would encourage, especially the new guys to do. For instance, I just said that I don't have a website. I would encourage you to get a website. I don't pay for advertising. I would encourage you to pay for advertising. When it's in the budget, utilize it as such, and it will pay for itself. I just don't have to because I've got skin in the game for so long. That being said, I don't do in-person estimates. The fact of the matter is, Mike, I don't know when I would do it. In our area, people work, and most of the homes in our area have a two-income family. And so if I'm going to do in-person estimates, I'm going to have to do it after 5 and 6 p.m. So that means washing all day and then coming home, taking a shower and kissing the wife on the cheek, hitting the eject button and going out and doing in-person estimates. And I don't know that my people really like that. I build my business on efficiency and I build my business on convenience. And my people absolutely love it. And then I also have a video that I send them that shows them the body of my work for roof cleaning, house washing, and concrete cleaning within 50 seconds. And so that's my upsell tactic. We were talking earlier about automation. I have an automated video that I made. I would encourage people to do that. And many times people will settle on the house wash price, and in a minute they get my automated video and they say, okay, also add the concrete as well. So automation is the future. The automation is now. So if you're not planning to get automated soon, you're going to get left behind. So no, I do not do in-person estimates. I can count on one hand every year how many in-person estimates that I did. I washed a huge warehouse yesterday. And that was one of the highest tickets that I've ever done in a one-day job. Never showed up on the site to give an estimate. Did it all over the phone. Again, I wouldn't encourage it. I managed to pull it off.
I love it. And I do that all the time. I mean, I'll quote $20,000, $30,000 jobs over the phone via text message without ever talking to a person but you said it, people are busy, right? People, I don't want to talk to anybody that, like, just give me the price. Let me get on the schedule. Let's move on. And if there are people that need that, they can call somebody else because my time is very valuable. And the customers that we like to deal with understand that, and they value their time and they value ours. So I love to hear that you're doing that as well. And yes, also encourage people that are new to get out there, shake the hands, kiss the babies, lay eyes on it, because if you're brand new, you don't have the experience that we do, and you're going to need to do a walk around. You're going to need to kind of understand a little bit more, because you and I, we can look at a property and we can say, yeah, it's going to take us 3 hours. This is going to be the price. This is what I need to make. Boom, done deal. The other thing, I love the idea that you said about sending the videos. We've got something very similar. We've got a roof wash explainer video that I made a couple years ago. I send that to customers all the time. I hit them in my email automation, my email blast with it, and it does generate, because, video really does work. We've also just, and this is not a sales pitch, but you know me, I'm going to sell something if I got the attention of somebody. And QIQ ads, right? They are video ads. They're custom made for pretty much every service. We've got a general wash video, which sounds like it's something very similar to what you do. It highlights concrete, house wash, roof wash, gutter cleaning, very quick, a little bit of music, quick cuts, what grabs the attention of people. And it shows them the scope of what we're capable of providing them. A lot of people call with one thing in mind, like you said, the house wash. And then when they see the other things, then they realize, wow, I can make, we can make a lot more money, increase the average ticket price. They get a lot more value out of it. And it's a win-win for everybody. So yeah, I think that's a great idea. And, there's a link below for QIQads.com. Get your own. You can also look at the video Justin made, and it tells you exactly what to do. You don't have to buy a thing. He goes through the script, take the script, make your own videos, record them, do it all. And you'll see that stuff, it really does work. Mike just was, saying that it works for him. Is there a ceiling for what you're capable of doing with, one man, the hours that you can put in or you're willing to put in? And what's the end goal? What's the goal for next year for growth? Or is it just to, increase prices, make more money, scale back? You tell me what you're thinking.
Yeah, Mike, I tell you, as you said, I'm 53. I think about 63 all the time. I can't believe that I'm there. I have 4 grandchildren and 1 on the way. It blows my mind that that's where I'm at in life. I still ride old school BMX. I mean, I really feel like a kid, but my bones every morning remind me that I am not. But
Yes.
at 53, I'm still washing 4, 5, 6 houses a day, or as I call them, opportunities. It may be a house, maybe a roof, concrete, what have you. And every day I think that I can continue going. One of the problems with washing so many houses or having so many opportunities is that everything has to be right. So like if I leave residue on windows and I'm 30 minutes away, I've got to break my day up to go back and fix that. So if you're going to get out there and you're going to really plan to do high volume work, then it has to be right. And what happens is when you get older, the days just seem to get so much longer. My plan is to wash until I'm 60. I don't know if that's the Lord's plan, but my plan is to wash till I'm 60. At that point, Fresh Rinse Media and all that I have going on with that, I will just slowly kind of warp into that. That's the plan. So I sell business cards, 5x7 cards, door hangers, yard signs, the A-frame signs. I do a lot of that already. And over the next 6 to 7 years, I plan to phase into that, and that will be my retirement. I am blessed to have other streams of income, and that just comes from positioning myself early on in life with real estate and so forth. I do not take that for granted. My wife is a school teacher, so that's where our insurance comes from. There are a lot of things that have been placed in my life by the good Lord, for which I'm very, very grateful, that I don't think I could have developed it this way. So yeah, my plan is to wash until I'm 60, and I don't think I can keep up the pace all that long up until I'm 60. But even if I can do 3 houses a day, that's a really, really good income. And I really enjoy it. Looking forward to the next 6, 7 years.
Yeah, absolutely. And I need to order one of your A-frames, or at least 2, because I'd like to put them on the front and the back. But
absolutely,
these things are great. Now we've done these years ago, and then guys didn't take care of them and they got trashed, and they're thrown away now. But I've seen yours; they're great. Do you want to give a website? And I'll put a link down below for anybody that's watching that wants to look at Fresh Rinse Media. And so to close all of this out, and again, I appreciate you being here.
Yeah.
I know that your slogan for the year is "Do better, be better." Right?
Do better, be better. Yes.
And I love that. And that hits on so many different levels. But I wanted you to kind of give anybody that's watching, that's new, maybe that's been in it. I mean, because we can all use advice. I like to surround myself with people that can help me grow, can be better,
Sure.
Do better,
Absolutely.
all of those things.
Absolutely. It's a great question. Give me time just to maybe give 2 points there.
Absolutely.
Maybe definitely for the newcomer, and then one bit of advice that I believe we could all utilize. And the first thing is this. If I were starting over again and I knew that there were such things as courses, I would definitely encourage the new guy to take a course. I wasn't always there. There was a time many years ago where I was anti-course, and that with some, I guess, with age and experience and wisdom, I now realize that you're going to beat the system by years if you get a course. And I know, Mike, you have a course, and I'm not promoting that course. I know nothing about your course. In fact, I know nothing about anyone's course. But if we had a university or a college, then we would go there and we would spend thousands and thousands of dollars on some sort of education that we could get from a university or even a tech school. We don't have that per se. So I would encourage the young guy to invest that $300, $400, $500 or whatever the cost may be for a course, and you'll get lots of miles out of that. And then a bit of advice that I think could you get a lot of mileage out of at any level of the rung that you're on, whether you're first year or as myself 10 years or 23 years, such as yourself, Mike, is I would encourage the new guy in particular, your first year, maybe second year, find you 4 or 5 guys who are on the same level that you are on. So let's just suppose you're a first year washer. Find you 4 or 5 more first year washers, form a network. Now they may be local to you or they may be somewhere within the nation, and you find them on social media. Link up with them, become friends with them, and you will actually grow more than you think by linking up with people who are on your same level. So here's what will happen. You're going to have problems. You're going to have situations that you run into, and you've got a text group of 4 or 5 guys, again, that are on your same level. And they're not bothered in the least when you text them and say, here I am, I've got this situation. What are you guys charging for apartment complexes? What are you guys doing in this situation? They're not bothered in the least. And let me go on record and say, I'm not bothered either. It doesn't bother me when a younger washer or a newer washer wants to call or text me. And when I can, I'll field those calls and text. But I'm washing on a level that doesn't allow me to take as much time as that first year washer. And that's the beauty of it. And what will happen is this, Mike, 2 of those 5 or 6 within that group will excel above the others. And within this little network, you will actually get to see your own peers excelling where you want to be. So you right now, you look at this truck behind me, you've been washing a year or 2. If you're not there yet, then for some would say, well, that's a goal, man. I can't wait to the day when I can have a truck like that, or a big trailer, or multiple trucks and trailers. Well, when you see guys who are on the same level as you doing this, then it's going to tell you that you can do it too. But when you see me do it, man, it just seems so distant. It seems so paramount, like you're never going to get there. But when your own peers are getting there, and again, 2 or 3 within that group are going to excel faster and more rapid and a little higher than others do, it's going to give you hope. So the first bit of advice is take a course, just go ahead and do it, bite the bullet, and learn all that you can. And secondly, network with people who are on your same level and watch that network grow and watch your own business grow.
And I think that's brilliant. Surrounding yourself with like-minded people, people on the same level, absolutely critical. And it's an accountability partner or partners, right? If you don't have somebody that's holding you accountable, because it's tough to hold ourselves accountable, right? We can push ourselves, but like you said, if you're watching somebody else, do better, right? They're getting after a little harder. You see that it's possible. And I think that's a great piece of advice. So I think we'll end on that, Mike. Go check out Mike's channel. It is The Fresh Rinse. Thank you so much for being with us today. We appreciate it. I know that a lot of people have gained a lot of insight and value from what you had to share. So thank you so much. And thanks again.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate you.